If you've ever tried to write a sweet historical romance and found yourself stuck somewhere in the middle, you're not alone. Most beginning writers don't struggle because they lack ideas. They struggle because they don't have a simple structure to follow. Hello, I'm Lorna Faith, and I write in many different genres of fiction, but I also write sweet romance books with my pen name, 𝙎𝙬𝘎𝘋. I enjoy helping beginning writers who want to write sweet romance stories that connect deeply with readers. In today's video, I'm going to give you a very simple plot outline you can use to write your historical sweet romance faster and easier without overthinking every step. This is not a complicated plotting system. You don't need a 20-page outline, and you don't need to map out every scene. All you need is a few clear story checkpoints that guide you from beginning to end. So let's walk through them together. Let's talk about the beginning. Step 1, your heroine's starting point. What is her life like in the time period that you have set this novel? What is she struggling with? And most importantly, why does love feel risky to her? In a historical sweet romance, this is often tied to things like a family reputation, the heroine's reputation, family expectations, past disappointment, or a need for independence. You don't need to explain everything. Also, for the hero, ask what does the hero fear regarding vulnerability, and how does he feel about falling in love? Just give us a sense of what she wants and what he wants and what either of them are afraid of. Step 2, the meet cute. Next, bring your hero into the story. This should be a moment that feels a little unexpected, a little emotional, or slightly uncomfortable. It doesn't have to be dramatic. In fact, in historical sweet romance, smaller, more personal moments often work better. For example, there could be a misunderstanding. There could be a small accident. Maybe they are helping each other in a moment of need. What matters is that something shifts. And since you're writing historical sweet romance, you can use history as a form of pressure in your story. Ask yourself, how does the historical setting make love more difficult? What are society's expectations? What are the class differences? What are the inheritance rules? And how important is reputation for the woman, for the man, for each family? And how does family duty play a role for both the hero and the heroine? The next part is the middle of the story. Number 3, a reason for the hero and the heroine to stay connected. Now you need a reason for these two characters to keep seeing each other. This is where many stories seem to lose direction. It's important if you can keep it simple. Keep the romance between the hero and the heroine visible on the page. Every few pages, something happens that brings the couple closer together or pushes them apart. This is important as this will keep readers turning the pages. Give the hero and the heroine a shared situation. This is where you can let the historical setting really work for you. The couple could be forced together in many different ways. In a historical romance, some ideas could be working together on a village event. Perhaps maybe they are solving a community problem. Or maybe they are helping with a sick relative, or restoring a property, or dealing with family estate issues. Or perhaps one of their fathers has a business or a shop, and they are helping their family. The key really is this. They don't just meet once. The hero and the heroine need to keep interacting with each other. So see if you can come up with ideas and ways on how the hero and the heroine can be forced together. Ideally, and this might not work, but I've noticed just in comments from my own readers, they love it when the hero and the heroine are kind of forced together by chapter 3, if not sooner. Sometimes they like it by the end of chapter 1. Readers, especially romance readers, are voracious. they want to see that the hero and the heroine get together, right? And so the sooner you can get that done, these are the emails I get from readers. They seem to like that. If you could force the hero and the heroine together by the end of chapter 3, that would be wonderful. A few ideas to get them together. Now, the idea that came to me was that this is an idea for Regency historical sweet romance, but here would be some ideas. Number 1, a shared responsibility tied to the heroine's father. Perhaps the Duke, the Earl, the Viscount has authority over something her father depends on for income, like land, pension, some kind of living. Number 2, perhaps the Duke or the Earl or the Viscount or Marquess is connected to the heroine's family affairs in some way, like as an executor, a trustee, or a distant relative, etc. And the heroine perhaps is forced, repeatedly into the hero's company. Number 3 could be the heroine is invited to be a companion to the grandmother or an older aunt of the hero, or maybe the heroine becomes a governess to his niece, and that would force them together. Number 4, they both have something the other person needs. So if the heroine is poor, perhaps she needs income or influence, and the hero needs competence, stability, or perhaps emotional support in his household. And maybe she brings him that. Number 5, perhaps a situation arises in the London Regency season where the hero and the heroine, their association is noticed or perhaps misinterpreted. And to maintain respectability, the hero and the heroine must continue to interact with each other. So those are just some ideas, some examples. And so then we move on to number 4, which is growing connection. As the hero and the heroine spend time together, their relationship begins to change. This is where you build trust, friendship, and quiet emotional connection. In a historical sweet romance, this often shows up through small acts of kindness, meaningful conversations, moments of vulnerability and understanding each other. You don't need a lot of big drama here, but consistent emotional movement is really good. This is what readers long for in a historical sweet romance, is that they want their emotions to be moved, preferably in every scene, but for sure every chapter. They want to see that this transformation is happening for the hero and the heroine. Number 5, the misunderstanding or emotional conflict. At some point, something will happen that reinforces both the hero and the heroine's fear about falling in love. And this is really the turning point of the story. Some examples could be something they overhear in a conversation, and it brings back those seeds of doubt. Perhaps there's a false assumption, which also brings more doubt. Maybe there's outside pressure from family or society, and it makes them question in their mind, maybe they shouldn't be spending so much time with this person. Or perhaps a situation looks worse than it is, and if you were talking about Regency England and writing a sweet romance in that era, in that time period, often that would be a social scandal, right? If a situation looks worse than it is. And then there could be pressure from family members, and now they pull away from each other, but not because they don't care, but because caring and those feelings of love feels way too risky, and so they pull back. Now we're headed into the end of your story. Number 6, the moment of truth. Now one or both characters must face their fear. This is the emotional heart of your story. Your characters have to choose. Do I stay safe, or do I risk love? And this doesn't need to be dramatic or loud on the page. It just needs to be really honest and with some vulnerable moments between the hero and the heroine. And then number 7, this brings us to the sweet resolution. Finally, the hero and the heroine choose each other. In a historical sweet romance, this often includes a vulnerable conversation, a heartfelt apology, a meaningful declaration, or perhaps it's a public declaration, and then, of course, the promise for the future together. The goal is a satisfying, hopeful ending that shows emotional growth. And readers love that. They love this happy ending to see, either to see the proposal on the page, or you could even add an epilogue. Romance readers, especially sweet romance readers, love an epilogue where you're showing, maybe you're showing them getting married, or you're showing them a year after they're married and they have their first baby or something. But this is big with historical sweet romance readers. They love that. And so make it into a happy ending, and your readers will just keep coming back for more. So in summary, if you want to remember this easily, here's your outline. The beginning, which is the heroine's world and then introduces the hero's world also. The meet cute, where they meet. And then it moves to the middle of the story. And then you're giving the hero and the heroine a reason to stay connected. Their emotional bond begins to grow. Then there's a misunderstanding where seeds of doubt are planted. And then we're moving to the ending of the story. There's a moment of courage where both of them, in their separate situations, they pull back in fear, but then toward the end, they need to choose love over fear. And then at the very end is a happy, heartfelt resolution. And that's your historical sweet romance. That's it. So I hope this has been helpful for you. Remember, you don't need to plan everything perfectly, and you don't need to know every scene. If you know these key points, you can write your story one step at a time. If you found this helpful, you might also like my free resource for beginning sweet romance writers, where I break this down more simply. Click the link in the description below this video to grab the free Sweet Romance Story Starter Pack PDF. And if you found this video helpful, do subscribe. There are many more videos still to come that will help sweet romance writers to write their stories. And if you're working on your own sweet romance, I would love to know, where are you getting stuck right now? Please do let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. But for now, happy writing, and I'll see you in the next video.